Anime fans, be honest for a second. Frieren is the only show that can make you cry over a flower, a statue, a 10-year adventure, a man with blue hair smiling too nicely, and an elf who acts like waking up before noon is a war crime. And the crazy part is, Frieren will hit you with the quietest emotional uppercut ever. No screaming, no tournament arc music, no villain monologue explaining trauma for 12 minutes. Just Frieren standing there like, oh, maybe I should have paid more attention. And suddenly you are sitting in your room thinking about every friendship you let fade, every dream you delayed, every text you did not send, every year you spent comparing your pace to somebody else's highlight reel. That is why today we're talking about what Frieren teaches about long-term growth and why depth matters more than speed. Because some of you are not actually failing. You are just measuring your life with the wrong clock. You are comparing your chapter 3 to somebody else's episode 24 finale. You are looking at their money, their marriage, their body, their career, their confidence, their little cute productivity setup with the fake plant and the overpriced keyboard. And you are thinking, dang, I must be behind. But Frieren comes in, calm, quiet, and disrespectfully honest. She teaches us that speed can make you visible, but depth makes you unforgettable. Stay with me because by the end of this video, I am giving you 5 rules to stop rushing your growth, stop grieving your lost time like your story is already over, and become the kind of person who builds slow, deep, and real. This is Michael Yearby, your mindset strategist, and you're locked in with From Anime to Action, the podcast where we watch the scenes, learn the lessons, and execute. Now, before we go deep, let me say this. If you ever need music that feels like anime ambition got dropped into hip-hop drums, check out Rashad Oliver's music. It is anime-inspired, emotional, driven, and built for people who are trying to move like the main character without pretending life is easy. The link is in the description below. Now back to Frieren. For me, what makes Frieren Beyond Journey's End so dangerous emotionally is that it does not just ask, can you defeat the Demon King? It asks a much more disrespectful question. After you win, did you actually live? To Himmel, it was a huge part of his life. To Heider and Eisen, it mattered. To humans, time has weight. And that is the pain. Frieren did not hate her friends. She did not betray them. She was not cruel. She just moved through those moments like she had unlimited time to understand them later. That is where a lot of us get caught. We tell ourselves, I will build the skill later. I will fix the relationship later. I will start the business later. I will become disciplined later. I will become the version of me I keep talking about later. Then life does what life does. It moves without asking your permission. And suddenly later becomes last year. Later becomes 5 years. Later becomes, why did I waste so much time acting like I had forever? That is the real life diagnosis. You are not just comparing yourself to other people because you are jealous. Sometimes you compare because you are grieving. You are grieving the version of you that could have started earlier. You are grieving the years you spent distracted. You are grieving the discipline you did not have. You are grieving the confidence you kept postponing. You are grieving the relationships you did not water. And because grief is heavy, comparison gives you a target. It says, look at them, be mad at them, blame them, hate their success, roll your eyes at their engagement photos, act like their gym transformation is corny. But deep down, it is not really about. It is about you looking at your own clock and feeling like you missed your moment. Let me say this directly. You did lose time. I am not going to insult you with fake motivation and say, no time was lost, everything was perfect, everything happened for a reason. Sometimes we say that because we do not want to admit the truth. Some time was wasted. Some opportunities were ignored. Some doors were not walked through. Some friendships were neglected. Some seasons could have been handled better. But lost time is not the same thing as a lost life. That is the Frieren lesson. That is where the 5 rules come in. Rule 1. Stop worshiping the fast arc. Fast growth looks sexy online. Fast money, fast body transformation, fast confidence, fast promotion, fast marriage, fast glow up, fast healing. Everybody wants the montage, but nobody wants the boring scene where the character trains, fails, gets corrected, looks stupid, and comes back tomorrow. Frieren is not a fast arc anime. It is not trying to rush you to the next explosion. It makes you sit with silence. It makes you walk through the world. It makes you notice the flower, the spell, the statue, the memory, the little human detail that most people skip. Your life needs that too. Stop asking, how fast can I catch up? Ask, how deeply can I build this time? Because if you rush to escape insecurity, you will build a life that still feels hollow once people clap for it. Write this down if you need to. Speed without depth is just panic wearing a nice outfit. Rule 2. Turn regret into attention, not self-hate. Frieren's regret becomes movement. That is the difference. Some of us feel regret and immediately start punching ourselves emotionally. I am stupid. I am behind. I always mess up. I should have known better. Everybody else figured it out. That sounds humble, but sometimes it is just ego in a hoodie. Because if you stay focused on how terrible you are, you still do not have to do the work. You can sit in shame and call it accountability. No. Real accountability pays attention. Who needs your presence now? What skill needs your quiet effort now? What relationship needs a message now? What dream needs one boring step now? What part of your life have you been treating like Frieren treated those 10 years? Like you can always understand it later. Regret should not become a prison. Regret should become a highlighter. It points at what matters. Rule 3. Build proof slowly enough for your identity to believe it. This is where Fern is such a powerful mirror. Fern does not become disciplined because she posts one dramatic new me status and buys a planner with gold letters on it. She grows because her life becomes structured around quiet repetition, training, observation, small corrections, travel, responsibility, showing up even when Frieren is being Frieren, and acting like getting out of bed is optional content. Your identity does not believe hype. It believes receipts. If you say I am disciplined, but your life has no proof, your brain looks at you like Fern looking at Stark when he says something foolish, just cold, just disappointed, just spiritually unimpressed. So stop trying to become a new person in one emotional weekend. Give yourself proof every day. Read 10 pages. Walk 20 minutes. Save $5. Practice the skill. Send the message. Clean the space. Make the call. Record the video. Do the rep. Small proof repeated long enough becomes identity. Rule 4. Stop turning other people's pace into your punishment. This one is personal. I have had moments where I looked at other people moving faster than me and felt that little ugly voice start talking. You know the voice. Man, they are already there. They passed you. You are late. You should be further. What have you even been doing? And I had to learn that comparison is not always motivation. Sometimes comparison is just self-harm with better lighting. Frieren teaches us that people do not live on the same clock. Himmel's life is brief compared to Frieren's, but his impact is deep. Frieren's life is long, but she still has to learn how to value small moments. Fern is young but mature. Stark is strong but insecure. Hyder looks unserious at times, but he leaves behind love and responsibility. Everybody is carrying a different clock, different wound, different burden, different assignment. So when you compare your pace to someone else, you may be comparing two completely different stories. Their speed is not your sentence. Their success is not proof that you failed. Their chapter is not a weapon unless you keep handing it the knife. Rule 5. Make your next season deep enough to redeem the last one. This is the identity shift. You are not trying to become the fastest person in the room. You are trying to become the person who finally lives with intention. That means your next season needs depth. Depth in your discipline, depth in your relationships, depth in your craft, depth in your healing, depth in your faith, depth in your choices, depth in how you spend your time when nobody is clapping. Because when you build depth, you stop begging the world to validate your speed. You do not need to be loud every second. You do not need to explain yourself to people who only respect outcomes. You do not need to panic because somebody else posted a win. You just need to keep stacking proof. Quiet effort is not weak. Quiet effort is how roots grow. And roots do not trend, but they hold the tree up when the storm gets disrespectful. Now let me make this practical. Tonight, I want you to do a Frieren audit. Ask yourself 3 questions. What did I move past too quickly that deserved more attention? What regret is trying to teach me instead of destroy me? What small proof can I build every day for the next 30 days? Do not overcomplicate it. Do not turn it into a 12-tab spreadsheet with color coding, emotional damage, and a productivity goblin living in column F. Pick one thing, one relationship, one habit, one skill, one area of healing, one responsibility. Then go deep. This is also the heart behind my book, The Anime Mindset. Level up your life to navigate life's obstacles confidently and purposefully. It is built for anime fans who do not just want to watch powerful characters, but want to pull real discipline, resilience, leadership, and purpose from those stories and use it in real life. If Frieren can make you rethink time, imagine what happens when you start using anime as a mirror for your own growth on purpose. The link is in the description below. Now, here is the objection I already hear. But Michael, I really am behind. Maybe. But behind what? Behind whose schedule? Behind the version of life your family projected on you? Behind the fake timeline social media sold you? Behind the friend who got married earlier? Behind the person who found their career faster? Behind the 23-year-old online telling everybody how to make 6 figures while living in a room that looks like it smells like energy drinks and bad decisions? Be careful whose clock you obey. Some of you are not behind. You are finally becoming honest. And honesty feels late because denial was comfortable. Frieren had to face the pain of realizing that she did not understand Himmel the way she could have. That is brutal. But it also made her more awake. That is the gift hidden inside regret. Regret wakes you up to value. It says, this mattered. It says, pay attention now. It says, do not waste the next person, the next season, the next chance, the next quiet morning, the next ordinary day. Because ordinary days are where your life is actually built. Not just the big speech, not just the viral moment, not just the graduation, not just the promotion, not just the wedding, not just the launch. The ordinary days. The day you did the work while feeling invisible. The day you apologized. The day you practiced. The day you chose peace instead of drama. The day you stopped doom scrolling somebody else's life and finally took responsibility for your own. That is growth. Not glamorous, not always fun, not always loud, but real. So let's recap. Fern teaches us that long-term growth is not about being the fastest. It is about becoming deep enough to stop wasting what matters. Rule 1. Stop worshiping the fast arc. Rule 2. Turn regret into attention, not self-hate. Rule 3. Build proof slowly enough for your identity to believe it. Rule 4. Stop turning other people's pace into your punishment. Rule 5. Make your next season deep enough to redeem the last one. That is the identity shift. You are not the person who is behind. You are the person who finally stopped running from depth. You are not chasing speed anymore. You are building roots. You are not trying to impress people with a fake timeline. You are becoming someone your future self can trust. And if you want help figuring out which discipline pattern is actually holding you back, take the Character Discipline Score. It is a 2-minute assessment that shows whether your issue is chaos, distraction, impatience, age panic, false urgency, or weak self-image. Stop blaming motivation when the real issue might be your pattern. The link is in the description below. Also, this is the beginning of the series, What This Character Teaches About Discipline. So grab the free booklet, stay locked in, and let's start turning anime lessons into real life execution. Next up, we are stepping into Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun, and breaking down what Iruma teaches about building a new identity. Because sometimes the version of you that everybody underestimated is not weak. It is just waiting for proof. Watch the next video, take the assessment, grab the booklet, and stop rushing your arc. Build it deep enough that life cannot shake it loose.